The idea is not hard, plug it in when you can actually, as well as your visits to your pump becomes less frequent. That's really the way plug-in hybrids just like the Kia Niro must be pitched to car buyers. As much as regulators and policymakers revere FEFs and pay attention to them just as one important step on the approach to electric mobility, the fact is that too usually the format can involve glaring compromises, excess weight, sluggish performance, and cost, all in the interests of the occasional delivery of a few miles of electric driving. High's affordability, spacious interior, fuel economy, no CVT drone. Low's front seat comfort, low speed drivability, diminished gains in extreme temperatures. The best plug-in hybrids sell themselves on low running costs instead of overcomplicating things, and that's just what exactly Kia is doing with this Niro. The car maker was able to fit an 8.9 kWh battery beneath the back seat without encroaching on seating or cargo space. There's a 3.3 kilowatts onboard charger competent at providing the full charge in approximately 2.5 hours, which has a common level 2 commercial charger or about 9 hours that has a 120 volt wall socket. Compared with the standard, non-plug-in Niro hybrid, the FEF boasts upgraded power electronics along with a stronger electric motor, good for 60 horsepower versus 43. Total output remains 139 horsepower and 195 lb-ft, but there's enough electrified muscle to arrive at 75 miles per hour in F mode. As inside a Niro hybrid, an Atkins cycle 1.6-litre inline 4 achieves a claimed 40% thermal efficiency. It's attached to a 6-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox, together with the electric motor connecting for the transmission at its input. A third clutch can connect or disconnect the engine as necessary. The Niro may appear like a crossover SUV, however it's front-wheel drive only. The Niro plug-in hybrid is quicker to 60 miles per hour than the off-the-shelf hybrid, in accordance with Kia, because powertrain improvements a lot more than offset the stated excess weight of 163 to 285 pounds. Its hybrid mode EPA estimates visit about 3 miles per gallon overall versus the hybrid's 46 miles per gallon combined, 48 city, and 44 highway, compared using the 505,249 miles per gallon ratings for the best efficient versions of a normal hybrid. In its most luxurious trim, a normal hybrid is rated lower versus the plug-in, at 434,640 miles per gallon combined city highway. The EPA claims a full range of 560 miles with the plug-in Niro gets hotter, has a complete gas tank and an entire charge. With sufficient battery charge so when operating as a possible F, this Niro is EPA rated at 105 mph combined and may travel 26 miles when powered purely by electricity. But best of luck getting that far with no the engine start. Press too much into the accelerator plus the gasoline engine starts. Click the shift lever into sport mode, and also the engine starts. Turn around the climate control and when you need heat, the engine starts. That brings about another point. You won't find as many from the overtures to all-weather electric driving here when you do inside Toyota Prius Prime, which consists of heat pump system, or Chevrolet Volt, having its resistive heating. Nor can the Niro plug-in hybrid precondition the cabin if your car is plugged in. Plug it in when you can. Our first drive opportunity occurred in California, the state slated as being the initial sales focus for your model, though it will be designed for order through the entire United States, where Kia started us out with a full tank of gasoline but not a complete charge. A move that individuals took like a not-so-subtle statement about precisely how the brand sees this model. On a 498-mile, meandering route from Costa Mesa, California, to San Francisco, we did one recharge at our overnight stay in Paso Robles, which fully topped over battery. We also plugged within the car briefly at other various stops once we easily could do so, about 10 minutes at a time in many instances. Over those many small recharges, we added roughly the same as nearly another full charge, and finished the drive that as a trip computer indicated 51 miles per gallon. We didn't ought to refill the 11.4-gallon gas tank. At the end with the drive there was clearly an indicated 44 miles of gasoline range remaining. The driver can come up between electric and hybrid modes to tap into your electric driving immediately as well as to save it for later. Following our one full charge, we covered 24 miles on electric batteries alone while using climate control off, even so the heated seats and controls on prior to a system switch to hybrid mode. Unlike the Kia Optima plug-in hybrid, the Niro FF will not include a mode that permits you to recharge the battery while you drive. The Niro plug-in hybrid doesn't sacrifice any livability due to its additional electrons. Kia smartly pushed the stepped floor just a little forward in the lower back seat cushion to support the larger battery pack within the floor, something few back seat occupants would most likely ever notice. It is the identical hip point with the seat, a similar seat cushion, and also the same nearly flat seat folding capability as being the hybrid. The only difference is the fuel tank can be a half-gallon smaller. Just as together with the Niro hybrids we've tested, we felt instantly at ease with this particular vehicle's slightly elevated seating position, which lands it somewhere within a car as well as a crossover. It's high enough to generate ingress and egress easy, yet not really at high point that cornering feels awkward. The suspension takes up bad pavement with decent wheel control, and it is actually much better than in Kia's other small cars, less harsh compared to the Forte, less buoyant as opposed to Soul, although there's lots of body roll. The low rolling resistance tires further discourage via becoming too exuberant. There are a couple of points that may stand improvement inside the Niro. The front seats take the short side. We couldn't dial up all the regenerative braking when we wanted for very long descents down mountain grades. And just as with all the Niro hybrid, we encountered occasional awkward drivability hiccups, the reaction of a hybrid system that uses single large electric motor to become the go-to for both electric propulsion and regenerative braking, thereby the system is definitely guessing, sometimes wrongly, what you're about to do next. The Volt as well as the Prius Prime both offer modes that mostly lock out your gasoline engine for electric driving, but once the battery is exhausted on those cars the event becomes less pleasant, caused by a detached, drone-in engine sound drag. The hybrid system inside Niro doesn't reward subtlety inside a driver's inputs, but it incorporates a connection between engine and road that almost all hybrids are missing. Models and money. The Niro plug-in hybrid will probably be offered in LX, X, and X premium trims. Base LX models will include a power driver's seat, dual zone automatic climate control, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, as well as a 7.0-inch touchscreen infotainment interface with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay connectivity. X models add blind spot detection and rear cross-traffic alert, plus upgraded upholstery and heated front seats. The top X Premium, that's what we drove, gets to be a 7.0-inch display panel inside gauge cluster, adding a tachometer display for sport mode, plus leather seats, ventilated front seats, a heated tire, a Harman Kardon speakers, a radio phone charger, plus an 8.0-inch center touchscreen with navigation. Pricing ranges from $28,840 with the base car, climbs to $32,440 for that X, and tops out at $35,440 for that X Premium. While the base price for your Niro hybrid is $24,180, factor from the $4,543 federal tax credit for your plug-in, and also the difference in price between two basically disappears, and that's before any extra state incentives that might make the plug-in effectively cheaper. It's the inherent practicality and value that sells us around the Niro. It's perfectly logical a hybrid has outsold the closely related high-end Ioniq by nearly 2.5 to 1 inside US to date, and is particularly gaining around the Prius. With crossover-like seating, space, style, and versatility, there's no real downside on the plug-in Niro. Charge it once or twice a week when it's possible to, and you'll have one on the most efficient vehicles for the market. This can take your family members anywhere around the weekend.
Bye.